Welcome back to Morning in America. I'm meteorologist Adam Krueger. We're going to spend a few minutes focusing on what's been going on out west. You've probably heard of the parade of atmospheric rivers over the last several months. Take a look at the drought. 5 months ago, extreme exceptional drought over a good portion of California, and here we are now with the drought pretty much completely gone. Now, we have some amazing before and after pictures to share with you. Here's just a zoomed in area of Folsom Lake. Obviously the dry ground and now plenty of water there. But let's go a little bit higher up into some aerial views. This is Lake Oroville. Look at the difference. So this is the before and then this is the after. That is a lot of water here in that lake. Here's another shot of it. Lake Oroville, same area. That's the before, that's the after. So they've had an incredible amount of rain and mountain snow, but their water is still piling up in some areas, and it's because of the snowpack, which in some spots is 300 or more % of normal. And the issue here now, as we continue to warm up in the next couple of months, this snowpack is going to keep melting. But we've got a couple hours where we really need to be on watch here. Along this line, really anywhere, there could be these little notches or spins that might produce a tornado. Vivid red and vivid green right next to each other. That's where we know there is a rotating part of the storm. But you have to treat the situation as if these are tornadoes. So both of these, one right here, are radar indicated. You see this little notch right here on the leading edge of this line? That's where we have that potential tornado. Both of these going east. You get a slightly smaller, lower rotating part. We call that a wall cloud. And then within that wall cloud, there's going to be one little extension coming down from that. That would actually be the tornado. Now, this is a story all about how the weather gets flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how these places go from warm to cool air.
We have Adam Krueger joining us right now via Skype. Welcome, Adam.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
All right, so Adam, first off, man, I got to tell you, man, you got street cred now, all right? You got street cred for that one. I love this because I got to know, how did you get started with this? Because that's pretty difficult to do.
It started very simple. If you guys remember the Wordle game, it was big last year, where that evolved into starting to take requests. And that was a couple of months ago. And so people online were interacting with me and saying, instead of just doing this, why don't you do that? Say these song lyrics, reference this movie. And that's when the real fun began.
Now you've caught the eye of some famous faces. Who've been some of your favorite responses from big-time celebs over there?
I think you mentioned a few earlier, but when I saw Snoop Dogg share my video and comment "Weatherman on one," I think was the exact quote from him, I was blown away by that. I couldn't even believe what I was looking at. I thought maybe it was like a fake Snoop Dogg account or something, but it was him, and he shared it. So it was just cool to know that he saw it. I did a Backstreet Boys one a long time ago, and I know Howie on Backstreet Boys liked it or something like that. So it's reaching these artists and the actors in some of the movies. It's reaching them as well. It just blows my mind that they're seeing it. You mentioned earlier too, Lin-Manuel. I did a Hamilton one, and he commented with an emoji, and that was like, that just made my year. That was incredible.
Every 10 years, the National Weather Service takes a 30-year period and then shifts it ahead 10 years. So now, just starting this month, they're using data from 1991 to 2020 as what's considered normal around here. So I've written all about that here on our website, CW39.com. It's also on our app if you want to check it out as well. Just one thing I'll show you real quickly, not that you need to absorb all this information right now, but this chart shows for Houston the difference in what was normal before to what is normal now. And all these red colors right here indicate warmer temperatures being the new normal. I can show you on a map where these tornadoes occurred based on the damage reports. Here we go. We've got two lines drawn on here now. So there were two tornadoes. The first one started off to the west. It was an F2 tornado. This white color is the dust. Watch as the trade winds blow it thousands of miles westward across the Atlantic Ocean. This week, ending up in the Caribbean. Softball size hail now. That's just under 4 inches in diameter. And this thing is coming down at 75 to 100 miles per hour. What's the difference between a watch and a warning, using a taco as an example? And so this graphic has spread across the internet. But the reason why we've seen dry weather lately, high pressure overhead. That's sinking air. That means rain doesn't get a chance to develop. Clouds hardly develop as well. But as that shifts north, and keep in mind the winds go like this, clockwise around high pressure, that's going to allow these showers and storms to get scooped in here from the Gulf and move right on into southeast Texas. More than 400,000 acres. It's 53% contained right now, so obviously still burning. Here's a look at where the smoke is traveling today, going from the northwestern U.S. right across the northern part of the country. I've got an article posted on our homepage, Timing and Severity of Wednesday's Storm. So let's walk through this forecast here. If you go to this article, again, you can do this on our website right now. I basically got a breakdown of the showers and storms coming our way tomorrow. I'll be here live all morning. We're talking about what's going on here. We're talking about the weather, not just here locally, but for the upcoming games in Chicago. He's a former Houston Texans tight end, Super Bowl 50 champion, and as far as we know, get this, the only NFL player to have a degree in meteorology. Basically, in my opinion, the coolest resume ever. I had a chance to sit down with him on Zoom. Here's part of our conversation. A couple days away from a game like the guys are now with the Super Bowl. I mean, is weather at all playing a role in the game plan?
And let's talk about recovery now, because obviously Ida is not the only big storm to hit Louisiana. You've had several in the last couple of years. How hard is it to recover when these storms just keep coming and coming, one right after the other?
I'm curious if you can tell me a little bit about Lake Travis. That's, of course, for people here that don't know, the big lake next to Austin. That's where all your water comes from.
Yep.
And I know when you're leading up to a summer, you need that to have as much water as possible to survive these hot and dry months. What's the status of Lake Travis right now? All morning long, we've been thinking of that song, right? Wobble, baby.
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going to teach you how to wobble, though.
I need to learn. A streaker found his way to the field during a rain delay.
Unfortunately for you, what is happening here?
All right, Hannah, I don't know about your dog, but mine will just willingly go out in the hottest part of the day and just sunbathe in the yard. And I have to go be like, come on, man, you can't do this. Like a couple minutes is fine, but you're gonna cook yourself. We came up with a nickname for you. I kind of like that, Mother Traffic. That's nice. It kind of sounds like something I yell when I'm in traffic. We've got temperatures right now. It's the same thing like when you go to a restaurant and you get bread before your dinner. It's like, I don't need that.
It's not the same bread.
Adam, it's bread.
It's bread.
So-
it's smelling and fresh and ooh, it
Okay,
rises.
all right. I'll eat the bread, all right. Yeah.
Let's say I'm going to a wedding. It's that first song that plays and everyone gets out on the dance floor. What is something I can go to right away?
Spin it, and then come back around with it.
Once,
Then you're a pro,
twice,
man.
spin it, right there. Okay, I think I got that.
Ah, how about that? It works.
Because there's a cold front whooshing in.
The cold front is whooshing in, whoosh. And then what does that mean for our weather?
Cold wind.
Cold and wind. And I like to show people what the weather's gonna be like, not just tell them. So you guys are gonna help me out. So we got the wind on Wednesday, kind of like this. Yeah, oh, what a nice, refreshing breeze. I'm going to first break down these two tornado warnings, then I'm going to get to that yellow box you see. That's the severe thunderstorm warning for potential winds. And then finally, I'll back it out. We'll take a look at all this rain coming through our area right now. But potential life-threatening situations here, as is always the case if you have a potential tornado. And so switching back over to velocity mode on radar, this again, and I've been talking about this throughout the hour here, this is going to show the motion of the winds and the speed of the winds. So we're not looking at where it's raining right now. We're looking at simply the measurement of the winds, called velocity mode on radar. One thing to look for is where we see red and green, especially vivid red and vivid green right next to each other. That's where we know there is a rotating part of the storm. Now, I will mention storms can rotate and not necessarily produce tornadoes. Whether or not that's happening in this case is really difficult to tell. What we can tell you is that radar is indicating rotation and that it is a possible tornado going on east of Porter Heights right now, and it's just about to cross the East Tex Freeway.